Okay, hi! Welcome back. Today I'm going to be speaking about the logistics regarding the recent Camino de Santiago pilgrimage I was on, together with a group of 18 people. Generally speaking, the way it worked was that we met up in Madrid and then we left Madrid on a bus towards the north. We stopped for lunch at Burgos, had lunch there, then got back on the bus and drove up to San Sebastián. San Sebastián is in the northeast of Spain. Arrived in the evening at about 5 o'clock. We had an hour or so to rest and freshen up. And then we met up for a logistics meeting. Okay, how is this going to work? And also we were given our Credencial del Peregrino, which is issued by the cathedral in Santiago de Compostela. And when it was given to us, it was empty on the other side. So it opens up like this. And these are all different routes to Santiago, but we were asked in the first instance to fill out just the name as we wanted it to appear on our Compostela, and our nationality and the date. And then what happens as you walk is that you get stamps onto your passport, and that is proof to the cathedral that you have actually completed the pilgrimage. So that was the meeting in San Sebastián, and then that evening we had a tour of the central area of San Sebastián, which you'd never think it was there because it's kind of enclosed. So you arrive at the city and you think, oh well, this is a lovely seaside resort with lovely hotels and restaurants, and then behind this wall is the central area, which has cobblestone streets and loads of restaurants, and that's where we went for a pinchos tour that first night. And here let me just share a photo of the hotel that we stayed at, and here is the bar area and the lobby. So very nice hotel, nice room also, and it was all good. And the Pinchos tour especially was an experience, and I'll be speaking about that in my video called my Camino del Norte journey, because this is where it started, and we all have a Camino story, and it all started in San Sebastián. The first day we walked about 5 miles, and then we got on the bus, and the bus took us to Bilbao. And the hotel at Bilbao was a very nice hotel, very chic, right in front of the Guggenheim Museum. We went to the Guggenheim that evening. The Guggenheim is structurally, architecturally, a fascinating building, definitely worth seeing and being there. It had been on my mind for a very long time to go to Bilbao and to check out the Guggenheim. Here are a few more photos of the hotel. That wall was a mirrored wall, and then next to the mirror was a corridor. And this is once you went up the lifts towards the rooms, then all of the corridors had these kind of contrasting colors, which I found interesting. I found them very interesting. This is breakfast the following morning in Bilbao, and some views from that breakfast terrace. So the woman I received an invitation from is an American woman, and what she did was to subcontract a Camino de Santiago specialist agency in Spain called Marley Camino. I'll put a link to them below in case you're interested. They're lovely and very happy to help should you have any particular questions or doubts. And they organize everything from accommodation to meals to transport and just any doubt that you might have. And they also coordinate the checkpoints to make sure that everyone in the group is okay. And in the bus there are always snacks, fresh fruit, and of course lots of water. So yes, Marley Camino is the agency that coordinated things in Spain. I'm not going to say that the Camino del Norte is full of places where you can just sit, because a lot, I would say that a big percentage of the Camino del Norte is, well, fields. So there aren't that many places where you can just hang out and have a cup of coffee and chill, but there are some, and we certainly met up in these places. So in parts of the Camino you're on your own, in other parts you're walking along with people in the group. Especially at the beginning, there weren't that many pilgrims walking on their own or as parts of other groups. So we were basically on our own, especially those first few days. Day 3, arriving at Santillana del Mar. This is in the region of Cantabria, so now everything is in Spanish. We've left the Basque region and entered Cantabria. Santillana del Mar is a medieval town, but it's very near Torrelavega, which I've never been to, and Santander. From Santillana del Mar, wake up next morning as usual, breakfast early in the morning, and then everybody on the bus and forward to Day 4. In Day 4 we stayed in a place called Cangas de Onís. The Cangas de Onís is the most surprising place, I think. I didn't expect a place like that. It's like a mountain town, and the hotel we stayed at, Hotel La Cepada, is a massive hotel. It looks like it's a huge structure on the foot of a mountain overlooking this very picturesque village inserted into this mountain valley. So it's a very beautiful place, and all dinners were also organized by Marley. So basically we would have breakfast at the hotel, kind of buffet style, and everybody would help themselves and sit wherever there was room. And there were several tables, so sometimes you sat with 4 people, sometimes you sat with 2 people, and just wherever there was room, and you had your breakfast like that. But then in the evenings it was organized in such a way that it was a single table for the whole group. Next day, from Cangas de Onís, we woke up and it was a very foggy, cold morning, and it was such a contrast from the beautiful, clear, blue afternoon that we had arrived at the previous day. And it just felt so odd that we were in the same place, and the weather had changed so drastically overnight. But so that was how it was. We got on the bus and moved forward towards Oviedo. You can see here Oviedo is also near the northern coast, and in Oviedo we were greeted by a very enthusiastic guide. Now in Oviedo we stayed in one of the most luxurious hotels. Here you have the lobby, very very chic. So after having walked with the backpack through woods and dirt and cows and fields and horses and things like that, we got back on the bus, which took us to Oviedo, quick tour of downtown Oviedo, including the cathedral. Here is the guide, which is both a cathedral and a basilica, because it has artifacts that are considered sacred. I'll put a link to each of the hotels that we stayed at below. If you're interested in doing the Camino del Norte, then you can find links to all the accommodations below. Moving on to day 6. This is where it got intense, because in order to obtain the Compostela, you need to walk the last 100 kilometers. You need to prove that you've walked the last 100 kilometers by getting your passport stamped at least in 2 places every day over the last 100 kilometers. So the way it worked out was that we walked for 20 kilometers every day for the last 5 days of the tour. Now that was pretty intense. It takes about 7.5 to 8 hours to walk 20 kilometers. So that's all day. And finishing at about 3 or 4 o'clock, and then back on the bus to the next town. And from this stage, we weren't staying in these elegant hotels anymore. So we moved on to like manor houses and more rural accommodation. On day 6, we stayed at a Parador. These Paradors are quite nice hotels, and especially this first one that we stayed at in a place called Ribadeo. We got on a ferry and we were transported across. So that day, the 6th day, the day after Oviedo, we left Asturias. We moved from the Basque region to Cantabria to Asturias, and then on this day we moved into Galicia, and Santiago de Compostela is in Galicia. Galicia is famous for its rain, and now I know why. It pretty much rained a lot from this day on, but especially day 11 was a downpour all day, and it was I'll let you take a look at this. Oh, 21 kilometers today in the pouring rain all day. All day. There wasn't a moment of no rain. Here are some photos of the town itself. So I'll just run quickly through the other towns. After Ribadeo, we stayed for 2 nights in a town called Vilalba. Also a Parador that we stayed at. Vilalba's main attraction is that it's closer to Santiago, still on the Camino del Norte, which means that you aren't, you're still in that place of silence, because what I have to say about the Camino del Norte is that because it's so sparsely populated with pilgrims and even people, there is just so much space to be and enjoy, and it just feels the silence and the pace of your steps, and visually very, very beautiful. So the Camino del Norte is like that. Vilalba is on the way, so we stayed 2 nights in Vilalba, and then so in this pilgrimage we're walking a total of about 165 kilometers, I believe, 107. To be honest, I don't know how many. And today we walked the first part of the last 100 kilometers. So today was 18 kilometers, tomorrow 21, the next day I don't know how many, but around 20 kilometers a day for 5 days into Santiago de Compostela. Today the bus took us to the starting point, which was at kilometer 97. It used to be 100, but things have changed, new road signs, so now it's 97, but of course we've walked a lot more than 3 kilometers to make up for the last 100 kilometers. And at that point then we walked the 18 kilometers towards Santiago de Compostela, and then the bus brought us back to where we spent the night last night. And then tomorrow morning we're getting on the bus and it's dropping us off exactly where we stopped today. And then we're walking another 20 kilometers tomorrow, and then we won't be staying at the same place, we'll be staying at a hotel closer to Santiago. And then we moved to my absolute favorite place by far, which was Casa a Paínza. Check it out, their website, and if you're ever going to that area, if you're going towards Santiago, you must stop by, say hello to Maria and to Rodrigo. Rodrigo is the one who prepared all our meals, and he is a genius. He's a magician. It was the first time that I ate to my heart's content, and it was just delicious. And so what a Paínza is, it's a manor house, and Maria is the owner of the manor house. So this house has been in her family for 250 years. If you go in the summer, it'll be lovely. It's just a little stroll from where you stay down to the restaurant. But well, we arrived and it was raining, so Maria was so kind to ferry us back and forth from the outhouses, which were originally for the workers in the manor house. They've been refurbished and reconditioned for pilgrims, and they're just gorgeous. A Paínza was my favorite place, and we stayed for 2 nights. After A Paínza, we stayed at another place for the night. The last night, once we arrived finally at Santiago de Compostela, we stayed at a hotel called Hotel Monumento San Francisco, which is right there. There's a cathedral, and kind of down a little alley, at the end of the alley, the hotel. These are the logistics. It's how it worked. Wake up early in the morning, have a substantial breakfast, you know, with stuff that you're going to be carrying. Get on the bus. The bus takes you forward a little bit, off the bus, walk 20 kilometers, stopping here and there, back on the bus to the hotel. Dinner late at about 8:30, dinner for everybody, then end of the day. Next day, same thing. And that's pretty much how it was for 12 days, until all you know is that, you know, wake up, have a shower, get dressed, take care of feet. Lots of attention to the feet, making sure the feet are okay. Pampering the feet, cream with arnica on the legs, you know, lots of compression, clothing, appropriate clothing, backpack, and off we went. Those were the logistics. Hope you enjoy. Please come back for the next video in the series, which is about the group, and then I'll also be speaking about my personal journey and some reflections. So I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.